Good morning, everybody. Come on, you guys. I had this idea this morning. I just ran up the hill, and so I'm a little out of breath, but I ran down it and then back up it. I wanted to make a little mold update this morning. If you watched our last video, we have found that there are mold spores upstairs in our house, as well as some that was already in the crawl space. And what better place to make a little live video than outside? And I came out and all the chickens ran up. They lost interest because I didn't have food. But so I decided I was just going to include them in this little video. Now, guys, I do apologize. I've disabled the comments on this video just because it's me solo. I don't have anyone moderating. This was a little spur of the moment, but I don't want to have to filter through comments. So I appreciate you joining me today. I think this is all of the ducks, the geese, and the chickens right now. There's a few strays wandering. Okay, so the mold update is we have working to immediately improve our air quality by replacing air in the house, and we're getting HEPA air filters from a family member today. They're actually going to bring them out to us. They have multiple air filters just to try to improve the air quality upstairs in the house immediately while we work on this mold problem. We have done and have been in the midst of a major DJumping process. Brianna's doing most of this. We know there's mold underneath the house, and we suspect that there's mold in our back room, kind of our storage room. That's the only room with carpet in it, and it's also the room that's closest to grade. It's on the upper end of the house. That means the floor of that room is closest to the dirt, and has a high potential for moisture in that floor and in that carpet. It smells musty in there and has always. So we're doing a major DJumping. Day before yesterday, I took out a whole van load of stuff. Almost all of it went to thrift stores. It was clothing and books, all kinds of stuff that we won't use again. And that's very gratifying. It was just a mountain of stuff in the kitchen, bag after bag after bag. I'm doing a live video if you're interested. And Bree's going to the garden to pick beans right now. So that's kind of our first step. We're trying to improve the outdoor air quality. So once that room is dejunked, we will be able to move all the furniture out of there and tear that carpet out. I want to show you one of these geese because these geese are just a joy to me. They've grown so much. They're still super friendly. They are enormous, huge, not full size by any means. They're still going to double again in size and weight before they're totally mature. But they are doing really, really well. One of the geese, though, has a crooked leg. I'm trying to see if I can grab that one. And I think he's going to end up needing to be cold. His knee, or I guess, I don't know if it's a knee joint, goes out. And so he kind of limps all the time, and it's actually progressed a little worse. He gets around still with the rest of them.
Where's the chat?
No chat.
Oh, that's the fun part.
That's the fun part for you. I was doing it by myself, so yeah, there we go. So I wanted to show you just kind of one big outdoor job that we're going to need to do, and why I think kind of what is the root of our mold problem. And so I'm going to carry the computer. I hate doing that. It gets so shaky. But I'm going to move in just a minute and show you what I think is the root of our mold problem.
You know, something else that you probably know, you probably considered this, but I didn't consider it till your mom said it. The whole side of the house that has the mold problem is north facing. It's this side.
Oh yeah, that's true.
Have you thought about that? I hadn't thought about that.
Yeah, it's true. I mean,
just never gets a lot of direct sun.
Yeah.
Interesting.
So we're still kind of feel like we're floundering a little bit in this because there's so much to do. I do want to say thank you so much. We've kind of had an outpouring of support in comments and emails. I won't go into details on some of that. People have offered some extremely generous help, as well as a couple people I think sent us gifts, which we're not asking for that, but thank you to all of you all. And then some people have offered their like expertise and help, which is actually helpful because the internet is just this crazy massive information, and most of it is marketing. So I think actually increasingly it's become difficult to find really good solid information on the internet. You don't ever know, like, are you reading someone who's an expert, or are you reading someone who just like threw the stuff out there to throw ads on their blog? I don't know. So it is helpful to have people who say, I've done this, multiple times. Here's my experience. Here's my suggestions. Especially for the most challenging portion of this, which is treating the mold in a portion of the crawl space that I cannot even get into. Can't even crawl there. It's crawl space. There's no crawling in the back section.
Does that mean we have to rip the floors up?
No, I think we need to fog it, and that's something I've been reading about. And then some people have suggested that in email, and we'll go into more detail on that.
I want to answer one question that got asked a lot in the comments yesterday, or suggestions. People kept saying, get a professional mold remediator to come. And so the way that we even had our house tested is we had it tested professionally to begin with. So that company is actually coming out tomorrow to look and give an estimate. And then we'll have a second company that's unaffiliated come as well. Just because I'm not saying that this company is not legit, but in the mold industry, from what we've read, there can be a lot of just bad information. So we're going to have a second company come and look and talk to us too. And we actually have really close friends going through the same exact thing that we're going through right now. So in some ways it's been nice. I mean, I hate that for them, but it's been nice having solidarity with people who are also researching and kind of, we're just sharing information, but yeah.
And contacts. No, I don't think we need to rip the floor. I do think what we need to do is that whole area that we can't get to, I think we need to fog it. And the wood's not rotten. Like I've been up there enough to see everything I can see. The wood's not rotten. There's surface mold on the wood. But we need to address the moisture problem. We need to kill the mold underneath the house, and then upstairs it's kind of a whole different deal. So I'm going to walk right now and show you what's, I think, the core, kind of the root of our mold problem. I'm going to try to grab that goose with the cricket leg and just show that.
Another thing I want to say is a lot of people suggested air filters and things like that. And yeah, we're on top of all that stuff. I haven't actually purchased any air filters yet. Right now, we're just exchanging fresh air, outside air for inside air, just with all the windows open and fans. But the reason I haven't bought one yet is because it's just hard figuring out which one to buy. Do I buy the $900 one, or do I buy the $300 one? So I've just been trying to figure out if they are actually the same quality. They have the same filters, so I don't know. So I've just been trying to figure that out. His parents actually have 5 air purifiers they're bringing today. But they don't have. I looked it up. These air purifiers don't have all the filters necessary. They're more like for dust and pollen.
Oh.
Yeah, they don't have. They do have a HEPA filter, so I mean it will get some of the mold. But they don't have the charcoal filter, which I think the charcoal filter is mainly for smell.
That's for chemicals and smell.
But I still feel like it's important.
Okay.
So anyway, I don't know. And they all 5 need new filters, and that's going to be $500 just to replace the filters on those. So I didn't want to purchase the filters, not knowing if we were going to use them.
Yeah.
Those particular ones that they're bringing today, that they have for themselves that they don't use anymore. So anyways, I'm going to go pick beans. I'm hoping, like, today, it's like part of me just feels like all I need to do is go in the house and work. But I know that, like, I am not willing. I've just decided over the last few days that I'm not willing to give up my garden. for this, even though I know that like our health is super important, but this is a slower process than I realized. And so the mold issue, and I'm just going to keep diligently fitting in times in my garden, because it's not only the fact that we've worked really hard on it, it's also good for my soul. And I need that right now. I need things that are good for my soul to not be discouraged. So I'm gonna go pick beans and trellis tomatoes. See you guys later.
So here's the goose with the bad leg. I'm just gonna try to show you. When this goose supports itself on this leg actually goes out, this joint right here. And you can see the joint is more swollen and this leg goes out. So I'm gonna just actually put him down and let him walk away and let you take a look at how he walks, because I think that's the best way to see it. I don't know if you can see that, but his leg goes out to the side. I just don't think, because geese can live for so many years, and I'm hoping to keep these geese as breeders. Now it depends on male and female. If there's a bunch of males, we may end up culling some of the males. Hopefully that's a male. And it's very challenging to tell with MDM geese, or actually many geese, between males and females. They don't have a little tail curl feather like ducks do. You're pretty much going on size and behavior to figure out which ones are males. There's some color variation when they're little, but it's not 100% sure. But with how long geese live, I don't think that that leg is going to be okay. I think he's going to end up having issues with it over years, and I don't want to really wait for that to play out. So I need to figure out when you can butcher a goose, because with ducks and geese, it can be challenging to remove their feathers. And if you do it at the wrong time, in the stage of feather growth, which I'm not an expert on this, I hopefully will be, or know a lot more about it soon, then it's extremely hard to remove their feathers. So I need to catch them at the right time. And I think I'm past that initial time, so I think I have to wait until his feathers are in and mature. Anyway, got to read about that. Okay, let me show you this mold problem and kind of the challenge that we are faced with fixing it. Just to orient you a little bit, the house is right here. This is the north side of the house. There's the crawl space entrance where there's most of the mold is. And I'm going to walk along and just show you this upside, the side of the hill that is on the uphill side of the house. Now, I have these fences here because we've been grazing the cow in the yard. And she's actually bellowing now. She doesn't want to be in the pasture. She wants to be out here. She's been out here 2 out of the last 3 days. No, 3 out of the last 4 days. And that she finished grazing this part down just the other day. And then I put her back in because I had to go work as a nurse yesterday. I think this is going to be the best perspective to kind of